Since this is the 20th anniversary of one of the most heartfelt messages in a film, I thought I'd go back and look at Shallow Hal, since this is my review of that movie. Directed by the Farrelly brothers, Shallow Hal is about a guy who is very shallow and he only looks at the outside beauty of women. So when Hal gets trapped in an elevator with Tony Robbins actually does a great favor for him.
Hypothetical situation. Which do you prefer? A girlfriend missing one breast or half a brain?
Ooh, toughie. How's the remaining breast? Is it big?
Hey, listen, I know you got a great heart. You're just a little fixated on the outside appearances of people. So, Hal Larson, I'm going to do you a great favor.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, this is how it'll work. From this moment on, whenever you meet someone in the future, you're only going to see what's inside them.
So basically, Tony Robbins in that scene dehypnotizes Hal and say, hey, from now on, you're going to see the inner beauty of women because that is where the true beauty is. And I totally agree with that. I really enjoyed this film over the years. This is actually one of my favorite movies from the early 2000s. The cast is actually great in this film. You have Jack Black, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jason Alexander. I enjoy the cast in this film. I love the music. I love, most importantly, the message of this film is that only judge a person on the inside and don't judge them for how they look. And while the story is not the best I've seen in films over the years, it is a love story where Hal falls in love with Rosemary. Rosemary is his 300-pound woman, and she basically says she don't think she's beautiful. And so when Hal tells her all these nice things, then Hal changes for the better. Seriously though, the character development for Hal in this movie is done real well. He goes from a shallow man who wants the most perfect woman that doesn't even exist to a guy who's very humble and falls in love with a woman who is not physically attractive, but Rosemary has the heart of gold. And I really enjoy that. Like, this film, it has a lot of deep meanings in it. If you somehow never seen this film, then check it out because I think it's well worth your time. I certainly can relate to this movie personally because I was like Hal a long time ago. I was shallow. I only had looked at the outside beauty. But over the years, I have obviously grown and matured, and it's all about that inner beauty. You see, if you find someone that you could connect with, then that's what it's all about. And that's what this movie teaches real well. I mean, this movie's funny, it's entertaining, there's some great story beats in it. You know, it's a love story. And how he is a completely changed man to the beginning of the movie. Like I mentioned before, that's some great character development. Now, Mauricio, played by Jason Alexander, who is the friend of Hal, he's not that supportive. He's like judging women on their small deficiencies, you know, like this. Like he breaks up with a woman in the film who has a large middle toe. Like, really? It's like the parallels between Mauricio and Hal. I really enjoyed that. This film is not perfect. It has a little bit of issues, but I enjoy this movie for what it is. And it certainly is a cult classic. I have talked to people over the years. They really enjoyed this film. And this is certainly an entertaining movie that I enjoy still to this day. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. And hats off for them being realistic because in this movie, Hal is eventually hypnotized again into seeing the outer beauty. And he finds out Rosemary is actually a obese woman. But he still loves her because he fell in love with her heart. And I really admire that. And you know what's great about this film? It's still relevant even today because why is people nowadays so stuck up on looks? Well, I have a newsflash for people. It's not all about looks, people. Simply because it's about finding out what kind of person they are, not how they look. We shouldn't judge a person on the outside. We should judge the character of their heart. And that's what it's really all about. That's what this film does so well. And that's my review of the film Shallow Hal. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section. And let me know what you think about this film if you have seen it. In fact, what is your favorite film from the Farley brothers? Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying, peace out.
Live without things that make my life